In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this delicious almond flour banana bread. Let's take a look at the ingredients. You're going to need 3 large eggs, 4 if you're using small ones, a quarter cup of shortening, you can use palm shortening, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of honey, raw preferred, 3 ripe bananas, that's about a cup and a half mashed, 2 cups of blanched almond flour, or you can go a cup and a half almond flour and a half cup of coconut flour, a half teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and optionally you can add 1/2 cup of crushed walnuts. Let's get started. Start by adding 3 eggs to your food processor. Next, add 1/4 cup of shortening. It should be melted just enough so that it doesn't cook your eggs. Next, add a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Then add 2 tablespoons of honey. This is raw honey here. A little more, a little less won't matter. Place the cover back on the food processor and give it a light pulse. Ooh, that's a hard pulse there. Next, add your 3 bananas. Place the lid on and give it another pulse. I used a small silicone spatula to scrape some of the eggs off the sides. Replace the lid and give it another pulse. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Next, add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And 1/2 your almond flour. Place the lid on and give it another pulse. Remove the lid and add the rest of the almond flour. And pulse. If you're going to add your walnuts, add them now. Place the lid and give it a final pulse. We don't want to overmix this. Next, you can use a lot of different kinds of baking pans. I'm using this non-stick bread pan, but I'm going to go ahead and take some of the palm oil or shortening and give it a good greasing. Makes it a lot easier to get it out later. Be sure to get it into the corners because that's where it likes to really stick. I then pour the contents of the food processor right into the baking pan. Make sure you get all the batter off the blade. Be careful though. Once the blade's cleaned, I go ahead and scrape off all the rest of the mixture. I'm not sure what they call this, batter, dough. Let's just call it mixture. I then place it in my preheated oven and I bake at 350 for 55 minutes. At about the 55 minute mark, I check it with a toothpick to make sure nothing is stuck on the toothpick, and it's done. It's important that you let it cool for about an hour before you try to remove the bread, because what's going to happen is it'll break apart. But I then take a very thin spatula and just kind of give it a light press along the edges. I then flip it over and place it on my cooling rack. And it's ready to slice and serve. That's pretty much it. Be sure to visit the Bread and Ammo website for the write-up of this recipe. Until next time.